What's happening, my heroes and villains? Sean Ross here, and I am finally here to give you guys my live reaction to My Hero Academia manga chapter number 221, and the title of this week's chapter is All for One's Parting Gift.
Start over as many times as it takes. I am here to provide you with help. All of this is for you.
I love that title right there because it could have multiple meanings. All for One leaving the League to Shigaraki, maybe eventually his power to Shigaraki, leaving Gigantomachia to Shigaraki, maybe even the Doctor to Shigaraki. But I am really hyped and excited to see where we are going to go this chapter, because this chapter came out earlier than expected. I am reading this on a Friday, but it came out yesterday on a Thursday, and I've avoided the spoilers. I've just been offline because I did not want to get spoiled on this chapter, but sitting there just waiting to read, it's tough. Like, I felt like Shigaraki, just scratching myself, like I need my fix of My Hero Academia. So I am really excited to see where we are going to go with this week's chapter, and I do hope we stick with our League of Villains, because I really like the fact that it feels like they've taken over the series and have changed My Hero Academia into My Villain Academia. I love getting some focus on our villains, and last week's chapter was great. I loved the developments and the fact that Spinner was narrating that entire chapter, and it is really making me ask questions on what's going to happen with Spinner, whether or not he's going to leave the League or not. But then by the ending of the chapter, we saw Gigantomachia finally make his way to the League, and he is very disappointed in how weak Shigaraki is. But Shigaraki was able to make contact with the Doctor through Giganto's radio, so I am really excited to see what's going to happen with our League and if they're in fact going to make their way to the Doctor. So I know you guys are excited. I'm hyped as well. So without further ado, let's dive right into chapter 221 of My Hero Academia. Okay, so we are picking up right where we left off with Gigantomachia just wailing into the sky. He is crying his eyes out right now. Just a giant wah sound effect. Doctor, is this the Doctor you've been searching for? An emergency communication from the Doctor. It seems like all your little friends are with you. Staying healthy, I hope. Yeah, although I might be minced meat 1 second from now.
Fight!
Oh my god. Giganto looks like he just got done crying, and it looks like he's just about to throw his hands down to the ground. And we got an awesome double page spread of Gigantomachia using Earthquake. Damn, he just tore up the earth throughout this entire area. This construction site needs to have additional construction added onto it. Damn. And he just obliterated, it looks like, the hideout that they were staying in. I mean, it was a terrible hideout. It wasn't anything like the bar. Now I understand why there was that giant crater in that mountainside after he fought back against Gran Torino and Tsukauchi. Damn. I want to accept him. I really do. But I just can't, All for One. I can't accept this little punk. Giganto is really upset with the fact that Shigaraki is not as strong as All for One. Like, it's making him cry uncontrollably. The hell's your problem? Yo, we're seeing Shigaraki scratch himself right there. I feel like it's been a really long time since we've seen him do that. This is Gigantomachia. He once supported All for One as his bodyguard, and thus is one of the people All for One trusts most. He possesses otherworldly stamina and is able to wield multiple quirks without needing any modifications. So Giganto has multiple quirks. Is he the basis of the Nomu project? Like, all of the Nomus, are they based on creating more Gigantomachias?
Maybe.
Because if he's the only person that we know about currently, you know, besides the quirk of One for All, he can naturally hold multiple quirks without having to go through experimentation. So that's why All for One has been having the Doctor create the Nomus to create more beings like Giganto.
I didn't say that was his only quirk. He also has super regeneration. Nomu has been modified to take you on even at 100% of your power.
As All for One's power and his influence was weakened by All Might, and he predicted his immediate defeat, he hid Gigantomachia. Such a meticulous man. This all happened before he even took you in. The planning on All for One's part, years ago, to plan all this out, when this was like when Shigaraki was like 10, 11, 12 years old. Like, he was very young, and he has to be like in his 20s right now. So to have like a 10-year plan as he was weakening, to have this all in place, that is amazing.
You smart. You very smart. We the best. You a genius.
He did all of this to ensure that no matter what may happen to him, his dream and his will would live on. And he did this all for Shigaraki. Oh, we got Dabi stepping up right here. He's got the flames ready to go. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but this doesn't seem like such a nice present to me. Good eye, Dabi. You're exactly right. You see, Gigantomachia's loyalty is simply too strong for his own good, and as a result, he's in despair. He's despairing at the huge gap between his former master and Shigaraki. That's why he's crying so damn much. So, you're telling us to give it our all until he warms up to us. And he just launched a gigantic fire blast at Giganto. I'm afraid that's impossible. Right now, anyway. Let's see. And then we got a clicking noise coming from the radio. Yo. Giganto just ate Dabi's fire. He just Mr. Popo'd Dabi's fire. It's like when Mr. Popo ate Goku's Kamehameha. He just ate that fire whole. I mean, you still see the scorch marks on his face, but you can see in his mouth he is swallowing the fire down. Oh my god. He really is a calamity. This guy is going to be a behemoth if Shigaraki eventually gets him to do his bidding and becomes his subordinate. Oh boy. And then Toga is just panicking. It's not working, Dabi. And then from the radio, Machia. And what? It looks like Giganto just stopped what he was doing and he went back to the radio. He's got his hands around the radio and it looks like he's kneeling down towards it. Yeah, Shigaraki is looking at this like, what is going on right here? Is he rubbing up against the radio?
Oh, my sweet Jesus.
That's a recording of All for One's voice. He's calmed down now, yes? So that was the clicking from the radio. The doctor played a recording of All for One's voice, and like a dog, Giganto came running and just became obedient. He stopped. And he just wanted the love and affection and admiration from his master. He really is a loyal pet of All for One. That is crazy. I don't want this thing. Shigaraki is just watching this unfold and it's like, I do not want to deal with this thing at all. But, I mean, he's going to need Giganto's strength moving forward into the series. Once he gets Giganto onto his side, imagine in future chapters, Shigaraki calls Giganto by name, and we get this same reaction from Giganto, where he just becomes obedient and comes right to Shigaraki's side. Oh, I'm going to look forward to seeing that. That's going to be really cool to see happen. Oh, you don't? Even after all this, you still think you can obtain anything just by wishing for it? and we see Shigaraki taking the hand off of his face. Huh? You spent too much time with Kurogiri. Open your eyes already. What the hell, Doc? That's awfully cold of you. A moment, please. Heave-ho! What's he doing? This geezer just can't get to the point. Burp. Jin, stop burping. That's Yo.
Stop them before they all disappear!
Yo! I saw that little piece of black ooze coming out of Toga's mouth right there.
Phrasing.
This is the same teleporting black ooze All For One used during the Camino raid operation to get the League out of the bar, and also what got Dabi out of that situation with Endeavor, which I think we now can assume the Doctor can use this power in some way. But damn, this is a really nice shot right here. The way Toga is drawn, and it's coming out of Toga's mouth, Twice's and Shigaraki's.
Phrasing.
But this means the Doctor has some way to duplicate quirks, because we know All For One has this power, but he's currently in Tartarus to where he can't use his quirks, otherwise he's going to get shot on sight. So the Doctor had to have come up with a way to duplicate and clone quirks to stockpile them, so that way he can use them on all the future Nomus he was going to create. So I'm really curious how the Doctor is using this. Like, is this his own power, or does he just like press a button and he can activate quirks? This is the same quirk All For One used back at Camino. So why now? And we see the same thing happening to Mr. Compress and Spinner. I can't even wrap my head around all this. Now then, let's have a talk, shall we? So the Doctor is teleporting the League to his location. Okay. Yup, he's teleporting them away.
Hello there.
And there he is. Yo! That is the same Doctor. There is no denying it. Come on. That silhouette, that looks like the same Doctor from Chapter 1 that diagnosed Izuku as quirkless. And the funny thing is, I was hoping in my last chapter reaction, I said, I hope we get the reveal of the Doctor soon. We're getting it here. But that right there is a really dark, ominous, and epic shot of the Doctor. I love the dark shading on it. That looks really cool. And you got like polygraph paper on the ground just surrounding his rotating chair. Yo! No way! That right there is a lot of high-end Nomus. And that one front and center, front to the right actually, that right there is the same high-end Nomu that Endeavor and Hawks are about to fight during the Pro Hero arc that we got. But damn, how many high-end Nomus are there here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 12 high-end Nomus. That is crazy. If you thought 1 was bad, try 11 more. Man, this just raised the power level on the villain side by a lot. But we have a female one right there, which is interesting. We've never seen a female Nomu before. We got a fat one. We got one with no head. We got one with multiple heads, it looks like. Does this one have a hand cannon? Did we just steal Samus from Metroid and turn her into a Nomu? Damn, this is an epic double page spread. The art on this panel and this page looks great. But damn, you can just see the Doctor off in the distance, center of all this. All the tubes connecting this. Man, where is he hiding this operation right here? That's crazy. So the League just got to the lab. They're noticing all the tanks with all of the Nomus. That stinks.
This black stuff reeks! I love it!
This place is... What is all this? And Davi just noticed the high-end Nomu he is about to unleash to go attack Endeavor very, very soon. Nomu, but they're all a little different than normal. Ho ho! So you can tell the difference. Ho 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 ho! This guy's pulling a Frieza right now. This guy is ho-hoing like Santa or like Frieza. Ho, 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 ho. You really do have a good eye. Indeed, they are different. These children are worlds apart from those low-end products. Yes, they're high-end. My super Nomu that are one step closer to a masterpiece. Probably one step closer to being a Gigantomachia. Amazed, aren't you? Compared to the old Nomu, they're a whole new breed. Doctor, I've been searching for you because I had a request of my own. I want you to duplicate a certain bullet for me. Exactly. That's why he's been searching for the doctor. He wants to clone and duplicate the quirk-removing bullets. Your hair's grown longer, Shigaraki. It has grown longer. I have noticed that, like, just from last chapter, his hair did look longer. Are your father and everyone else well? Yeah. Whoa, the doctor just referred to Shigaraki's father, which I'm guessing he's talking about the hand that he places on his face.
Father.
But everyone else, I wonder if he is referring to the other hands or to the other league members. And then we have Mr. Compress trying to get a good look at the doctor. That's the doctor? I can't make him out with that black light. Stay away! Oh my god. This doctor has his chair set on a mechanism to pull him into the darkness if they get too close, to pull him back into the depths, into the belly of his lab. This guy really is a cautious man. Ho-ho! There he goes with the ho-hoing again. My apologies, but do not approach me imprudently. Understood? I'll be the one who approaches you when I see fit. If you violate this rule, I'll return you to your original location immediately and have Gigantomachia obliterate you. I think that's a fair trade. Don't get close, and Gigantomachia won't obliterate you. Fair trade, Doctor, fair trade. You're the one who called us here in the first place, crazy old man. Can we just get down to business already? I don't want to reveal my address, so I transported you here myself. This guy really is cautious. But I get where he's coming from. By teleporting them there, they don't know the location of the lab, and thus if they get captured by some pro heroes, they can't reveal the lab's location. But man, this guy's got a lot of cautious measures in place. Other than Shigaraki, I suppose this is our first time meeting, yes? Although, we may have crossed paths somewhere before. Really? The other league members might have met the doctor. I mean, that would make sense, because if he is in fact a doctor in real life, he might have treated the other league members when they were younger and their quirks started to manifest. So Horikoshi just giving us more of those little nuggets and hints that this is in fact the doctor from chapter 1. Just like Gigantomachia, I am one of All for One's close aides, Daruma Ujiko. And there's the name right there. That is the name Dabi name dropped as he got teleported away from Endeavor and Hawks. Daruma Ujiko. Although I just came up with that name on the spot. This man is beyond cautious. He's even using a fake name so these guys can't look him up in real life and just show up at his real job and be like, hey doc, we need something from you. That's crazy. This man is so cautious. Now then, Shigaraki, the reason I summoned you here was out of respect for a compromise I made with All for One.
So he's to unite the League of Villains. I wonder if the child can pull it off. How much has he really grown?
He'll do well, even if I have to work him to the bone.
My technology, these children, and my very life are all offerings to the great All for One. And you see the tanks of the High End Nomus in the background there. Man, I can't wait to see these other High End Nomus in action. Up to now, you were merely getting a small share of those things. But it's not as if I dislike you. I'm doing this for my sake. I want to determine whether or not you are someone worth offering everything to. So Shigaraki's got to prove himself. Before, he was just getting little tastes because he was the successor. You know, he was being mentored by All for One and got the Nomu for USJ. He got 3 Nomus for the Hosu incidents. But now that he's on his own and he is leading the league, he's got to prove himself to the Doctor on whether or not these high-end Nomus are going to become his toys that he can just release into the world. And if the Pro Hero arc is an indication, I think he's going to prove himself. Yo, there we go, face reveal. But you've accomplished nothing. Yeah, yup, that looks like the Doctor from Chapter 1.
Sorry, kid, it's not gonna happen. Izuku should have already manifested one of these quirks or a combination of both, but after viewing his x-rays, I don't think he's going to.
Got the mustache, he's even got the same glasses. And if I believe he's kind of got the same thing sprouting off of his glasses in Chapter 1. Yep, that's awesome. I love the shading on it too, that looks cool. But you've accomplished nothing. So do tell, what are you worthless 20-somethings, the trash of society, going to show me? Tomura Shigaraki. And that panel of Shigaraki looks badass as well. And that is the end of the chapter. Ooh, but this last panel right here, putting an emphasis on Spinner. And he's sweating a little bit right there. This is just adding more and more into how I feel with Spinner, that I get a feeling that this arc, we might see Spinner leave the League of Villains, because this is not what he was inspired to do. He was inspired by Stain, but none of this. So I feel like we're going to get a big division, I think, between Spinner and the rest of the league. But yeah, that is the end of the chapter. Damn! We actually got the reveal of the Doctor. It's basically 99% confirmed that this is most likely the Doctor back from Chapter 1. And I believe the chapter might have been 57 when we got the first reveal of All for One, and then the Doctor was silhouetted behind him. But that double spread page of the panel with the high-end Nomus, man, you thought 1 was bad. 11 more have still not been unleashed upon the world. Shigaraki is going to have power behind him with these high-end Nomus, and then if he ever gets Gigantomachia to submit to his will and become his subordinate, oh man. Shigaraki has to prove himself this arc, and he is going to, and I can't wait to see the growth we are going to see from Shigaraki, and to see him step into that leadership role that All for One has been grooming him for. This is only the 4th chapter of this arc, but we are 4 for 4, ladies and gentlemen. I love the setup, and I cannot wait for next chapter. So there you have it, guys. That right there is my live reaction to My Hero Academia chapter 221. But now I definitely really want to hear your guys' thoughts on this latest chapter. What do you guys think about all those high-end Nomus that have yet to be unleashed? What do you guys think about the reveal of the Doctor and how Shigaraki kind of has to prove himself? And how do you guys feel about Spinner right now? And where do you see him going in the future of this arc? Will he separate himself from the League of Villains? Could he possibly join the Meta Liberation Army? I really want to hear your guys' thoughts, so leave all of them down in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel, guys. I would love to have you along with the journey, and be sure to hit that bell icon so that you guys get alerted about all future videos. And if you guys want to talk more about MHA outside of YouTube, feel free to follow me over on Twitter. A link to my Twitter account can be found in the description down below. But that's going to do it for me here, guys. So until next week, when we have chapter 222 of My Hero Academia, I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond plus ultra.